guys, it's Stephanie here. It's Friday, May 20th, and last night I took out some salmon to defrost, and I'm going to prepare this salmon. I have not had salmon about almost a year. I've had other fishes, but not salmon. So today I'm going to prepare salmon for you guys, and you'll see me preparing it. And I think I'm going to add some breaded crumbs to it, and some regular seasonings, carrots, celery, butter, and the oven has been preset to 170 degrees. I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, it's Stephanie back here again, and thank you for tuning in. If you're my subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. And if you're just checking out my channel for the first time, be sure to hit that top bell so you can get future notices of all my uploads. So here we are. It's Friday, and what have I been doing? Well, I've been working, for one thing, Monday through Friday, and I have no days off this week. Actually, I did have Monday off. Otherwise, I would have worked, and I would have had last Friday off. But because I had a doctor's appointment this past Monday in St. Pete, if you saw my last video where I had lunch in St. Pete and I walked around, I showed you guys the marina and some of the restaurants that's there, and what it looks like when people are just outside social gathering and having lunch and conversation and all that stuff. I like St. Pete. St. Pete is kind of mixed with some retro and some, I call it Leave It to Beaver neighborhoods. Because some neighborhoods actually have cobblestone through the streets, and it's kind of nice. But man, is it expensive. Very expensive to live in St. Pete. So I will not be living there anytime soon. So anyways, today's conversation is going to be about materialism. And you know what I mean, right? As we're growing up in life, me anyway, I started to associate having material things with status, and to me it was a sign of your success. Whether you went to college and then you finally found a great job after you graduated college, or you didn't go to college, and like me, when I got out of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So before I went into the military, I worked with my dad at a clothing manufacturing company. It was a small Italian company, but there were like 3 companies. This well-off-to-do Italian guy that lived in the city had 3 companies. He employed about 1,000 people altogether. And when my parents immigrated here from Portugal, because my family had a background in the textile industry. When I was young, my father used to make Kangol hats, and he used to do it with no blueprint, none of that stuff. He just did it from his memory. And from what he told me, he used to make scooters and sell scooters. Look, I'm from a very, very poor family, and so they had to scrape to get by. And where we lived in Portugal, it wasn't like the mainland or anything like that. It was more like it was at a non-touristy part of the country, and there's several islands of Portugal, right? And where they live was called Brava. And before we go any further, I want to let you know that the country I'm talking about is actually Cape Verde Islands. Because I say Portugal because before 1976, the Cape Verde Islands were actually part of Portugal, but the people of the Cape Verde Islands, they petitioned and then they declared their independence in 1975. Well, theoretically, I was born in 1965, so it would not be for another 10 years before it became the Cape Verde Islands. So, what's the difference between the Cape Verde Islands and Portugal? It's simple. The Portuguese is a European country that's divided by many islands, and also the mainland of Portugal, of Lisbon, which was the government and the major city of Lisbon, but it was surrounded by different islands, pretty much like the Cape Verde Islands. The Cape Verde Islands, I think they have something like 5 or 6 different islands, and the capital of Cape Verde was St. Vincent. St. Vincent was the capital of Cape Verde Islands, or it could be another island called Praia. Praia could be the capital city of those islands. So both Portugal and Cape Verde is surrounded by their own islands. Now Cape Verde is actually off the coast of Africa. So way back when, there were the slave trades and a lot of shipping and trades going on. The Cape Verde Islands was populated by European people, not just the Portuguese. The Portuguese were some of the settlers of the Cape Verde, and at that time there were a lot of slave trading going on, and there were Irish people there, there were the French, the Portuguese, Japanese, Italians. So what happened was, with the slave trade going on, a lot of the slave owners owned the slaves, but the men also were having relationships with the Africans. So what happened was, now you have a mixture of culture and ethnicities and different nationalities to make up what they call a Cape Verdean person. So because my ancestors were Portuguese and European, that makes me European Portuguese, okay? Not from the mainland of Portugal, but from the Cape Verde Islands at the time before they were independent in 1975. So that was where I was born, and that's what I am. I'm a Cape Verdean person with Portuguese descent, European Portuguese descent, Italian, French, we could be Russian or Irish, you name it. So anyways, my conversation actually is going to surround, like I was going to say in the beginning, when I was young, when I was growing up, of course, when I came to this country, my parents had begun working for a company called the Cliff Test Corporation, and they were a textile clothing company. And what they did was they made suits and clothes for young men, mainly suit jackets, vests, pants, and all that stuff. And some of their customers were Sears and Roebuck, J.C. Penney, etc., etc. So when I got out of high school, I didn't know what the hell I want to do with my life. And I think a lot of the reasons was because of my transgenderism. I didn't know who I was. So if I don't know who I am, then how do I know what I want to do in life? I didn't. So after high school, I floated around working with my dad for about 3 years. And then I found myself not liking what he did, working there with them and that atmosphere. And so I started working for different companies. And then 3 years out, I was walking downtown on my day off from work, and I just strolled into a recruiter's office. And this guy comes out, he's wearing his Class A uniforms, and I walked in and we talked and we saw a video, and he says, you know, there's a lot of opportunities in the Army. If you don't want to go to college, if you're not sure what you want to do, then you can go into the Army. So I stood there and I took the ASVAB test and I passed it. And I did a quick little swear-in there in the office and signed some papers, and I went home. And about 2 months later, I was going to ship out to Boston as a place called Boston MEPS. Boston MEPS is just it's just a branch of the government where all the military is, where the recruitment agency is, the Boston MEPS. And there, you process in. You do a health checkup and screenings and all kinds of stuff. So after Boston MEPS, we boarded an airplane. We went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and my MOS was 12B10, combat engineer and demolitions expert. So before going, I never told my parents that I had enlisted in the Army. And when February came around, the day to leave, I packed my little bag Saturday morning, and my parents were still sleeping in bed. There was a doorbell ringing, and I got up. I was all dressed up, and my parents got out of bed. They're like, "What's going on?" I said, "I joined the Army 2 months ago, and I passed the exam, and I'm going to go to Boston MEPS. I'm going to be gone for 3.5 months or whatever it is that boot camp was." You should have seen the look on their face. They were astounded. They're like, "How the heck can you do that? You do something like that and you don't tell us?" So they were all choked up. They gave me a hug and a kiss, and I waved goodbye, and I was off to Boston. And then we were down to Fort Leonard Wood. We went through orientation, another process, another round of physical checkups and immunizations, and settling in and getting our uniform and weapons issue, you name it. It was a roller coaster. I have never been so disoriented in my life. But to make a long story short, I spent 6 years in the military, and I hated every minute of it. When I came out, I was in better shape than when I was when I went in. You know, my transgenderism never went away. As a matter of fact, it was more pronounced. Because I come back, I lost all my friends already because I lost touch with them being in the military. And it was a good experience. But I think, let's get back to where the conversation was. When I grew up, when I was young, I thought maybe some level of materialism had to do with your level of success. But I was wrong. Your level of success can be the level of your education. You go to college for 4 years and you take the courses you want to be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or an architect, whatever. Me, I had no clue what I wanted to do. So when I got out of the military, I went right back in the workforce, except this time, because of my training in the military, I had more drive and I was more motivated to find a good job. So I got a job in New England working for a company that made plastic grocery bags, and I became the lead operator on one of the shifts, and I operated my own department making grocery bags. This big machine that gets plastic pellets, and then you dump it in just one area of this big huge machine that was about 50 foot long and about 10 feet wide, with rollers and heaters and abstract stuff, and it was crazy. At the end of the line, you had a plastic bag that starts out like a little pellet, and by the time you got in the end, it was like a freaking plastic bag with handles and everything. So, needless to say, when I was there, I was always looking for better work. So the next job that I had was a job that would remain there for 14 years. And it was a company called Teledyne Inc. And what they did there, they bought raw steel and from different suppliers like Ludlum, Bethlehem Steel, cold roll steel, and these big rolls of steel could weigh as much as 5,000 pounds all the way to 30,000 pounds, and they would be delivered in flatbed rigs from Allegheny, Pennsylvania, or from Connecticut, or from all around the world. So we would buy the steel according to our customers' needs, and that job was a very good job. I made up to $75,000 a year, and I became an operator there when I left off. But I started as an indirect position where I supplied all the departments with raw steel while I drove a fork truck in the beginning. But I made good money, and then finally I started dating someone, and then we got married and we bought a home and I had a son. But anyways, as I started getting older in my life, I started to associate material things with success. I will later find out that material things don't mean you're successful. Successful people don't really accumulate material things that are exuberant or were ultra expensive, things that you can see on the outside, like a fancy car, fancy flashy car, or a house worth $500,000, or a house worth $500,000, something like that. The house that me and my ex-wife bought, my first ex, was a very little modest home, a little cape with a big long driveway. It was a cute little home. That's where my son was born. And but right from the get-go, whether I was married or single, I always thought that maybe having flashy cars and motorcycles and clothes were signs of success, and it really wasn't. It's later in life that I started to figure out that, hey, a fancy car, you'd have it for maybe a couple months, and then that fanciness would wear off, or that whatever it was that attracted you towards that material thing would wear off, and you'd feel like yourself again. These days I'm a lot smarter, or trying to be. I don't have nothing fancy. I have a pickup truck 4x4, which I bought because I thought I was going to move up north with my family, but I didn't. So it's sold, and I'm still using it until the person can pay it off. But I have a Toyota Camry that's sitting there in my driveway, and when I sell a truck, I'll be using my Camry. But anyway, I live in Florida. Here in Florida, the West Coast, Sarasota, St. Pete, Fort Myers, the West Coast of Florida, especially Miami, way down south, you see a lot of people driving around in flashy cars. Okay, you go to any wealthy community, you see cars that are like hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know. And I think if I was to drive a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Lamborghini, it would not make me any happier than I am right now. Okay? Than I am right now. I could hit the lottery and I would feel like there's been no big change except for financially. You know, you can only own so many things in your life. You can only buy so many houses. You know, look at Bill Gates, for crying out loud. He's worth $130 billion. Is he any happier? Does he have less problems? No. He's got more problems now in his life than he has ever had. He's going through a freaking divorce. Having a lot of money or having less, it doesn't really change who you really are. You know? The level of money that Bill Gates has didn't make him a better person. You know? It gave him more power, because along with that money and his success, he's got more influence on a lot of powerful people that will take his advice no matter what he says or does. Now, if you've been following the news lately, he's not a happy camper right now. And a lot of wealthy people that were surrounded by Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein are not the happiest people, because you find out that wealthy people sometimes slip and fall, and they make mistakes. Okay, what's not fair is not because they're wealthy and they're powerful, it's because they get away with everything. So if there's something that money can do, is it can kind of like exonerate you, but not the real exoneration. It's not legal. It's just swept up under the rug. Yeah, so that's right now. I actually have less in my life and I'm happy. There's nothing complicated, and everything I have is paid for. I don't owe anybody anything. It definitely, money definitely can't buy you the right kind of friends, that's for sure. You know, but it's like they say, good people will do good things with their money, and other people will do bad things with their money. So it's like, if you would ask me, did Bill Gates do good things with money? Most of the world will probably say yes. But people who have been following him will say, I don't think so. He's kind of shady. His wife, soon-to-be ex, Melinda, is already telling the tabloids that he's a creepy guy. They were together like 20-something years, or close to 30 years. And she's saying things that he's a creepy guy. You know? I don't want to get off too far from the subject, but you can work hard all your life, become very successful, start a successful business, employ thousands of people, and in the end, you're still who you are. You're still who you are. You know? You go to bed at night alone. Even though you're lying beside somebody, you're in your skin by yourself. So if you did anything or do anything when nobody was watching, that means that what you do when you're alone is who you really are. So what did you do? So I got a very basic life. I work a 40-hour-a-week job. I work, I do the best I can at my job. I leave, I come home, check my mail, come home, If I'm in a mood to ride my bicycle, I'll ride my bicycle. If I'm in a mood to make a film, I'll do a film and talk about whatever is up. And whatever happens, happens. I think I'll go check the fish. I'm starting to smell it. I'll be right back. Yeah, so the fish looks awesome. It smells good, looks sweet. Yeah. I love fish. And when I go grocery shopping, I was gonna buy a couple packs of fish. Chicken, turkey legs. And I mix it with some healthy choice meals on those days I don't feel like cooking. But anyway, yeah, I have a very quiet life. If you look around here, so if you look around here, it's really, really quiet. Right now I'm thinking about if I'm gonna ride my bike tonight. I don't know, it's incredibly windy out there. I could have swore we hit like a 35, 40 mile an hour wind. I'm gonna go check my mail. So anyways, we're getting into hurricane season, and I got my shutters in position to close in case we get bad weather. They're already talking about hurricane in some states, but I'm not worried about it. So anyways, that's about all I have to say right now. I don't have too much to talk about. Usually conversations just pop in either from something that happened at work or maybe an idea that I had for some reason or another. Anyway, I'm wearing my jeans today and my black top. I think what I want to do for you guys is show you my wardrobe one of these days. One of these days I'm going to go through my whole wardrobe and show you my different dresses that I like to wear and different skirts, different outfits. And I wear clothes depending on my mood. I love wearing khakis, as you know. I like wearing shorts and pants. If I'm going out with my girlfriends, before the pandemic, we used to go up to St. Pete clubs and go dancing, but we haven't done that in a long time. I'm not sure what's going on with nightclubs, dance clubs, and stuff like that. I don't know if they're back on opening on weekends and having people, congregate like that. But yeah, I like dressing up on special occasion days and going out and doing things, but it is what it is. It's going to take time to adjust and get back into living a regular life. I'm at work and I'm still seeing people wearing masks. What is a deal? This is the second day now that we received notice from work that we have options now. We don't have to wear masks at work anymore. And do you think I wore my mask? No, I did not wear it. But I would say maybe 30% of people at work are still wearing it. Why? And customers coming in to my job, they're still wearing their masks. No, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm done. I'm so happy because I feel normal. Walk around with a rag on my face, So that's a good thing, We now have options to wear it at work or not. Everybody got an email saying that we're to adhere to state and local policies. So having a governor like Ron DeSantis, that means that we don't have to wear it. We don't have to have any vaccines unless we want to, and no wearing masks unless we want to, and it's no for me. People look at me like, you're not going to get your vaccine? No, I'm not going to get my vaccine. No pun intended out there if you guys who want to get your vaccines. Okay? You have to do what you have to do for you, and I got to do for me. So anyways, I don't have a whole lot to discuss right now, but if anybody who's watching my video and you want to get the topic of transitioning, or if you want to discuss something that you're going through right now that you don't understand, or if you want some ideas on how to handle anything like that, just drop something down in the comment section and I'll look it over and I'll do a video on it. What do you think? Right now, it's like, I think I have like 23 videos on transgenderism. That's a lot for the subject. But issues can be in the hundreds or maybe thousands of different issues that you could experience. The things I discussed are what I experienced. So those things that I made a video on are things that I experienced personally. You may have not or have experienced them. And like I said, we all come out to be who we really are, and where you live, what state you live, and what part of the city you live, and your type of friends, and who your family is, and what kind of job you have. All that will go into a deciding factor of what kind of experiences you have. But one thing is for sure, if you have a positive mental attitude, everything will be fine for you. You know, just be headstrong and have a skin like an alligator and go out there and live your life. So that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna go through my diaries and see if I jotted anything down there for discussion. I think I might have, but the last couple of days I just wanted to relax and chill out, and then come back into my video making again. Right now, basically, I'm kind of gearing up for summer, and when I leave the house, when I go someplace interesting, I'll definitely take my camera with me, because as you can see, when I went to Sarasota to show you guys what the atmosphere was like in Sarasota during the COVID, was amazing. And there's still some stress in the air by some people. They still feel like they're under the gun, and they're apprehensive because some people are and not wearing masks. And when you have social groups, like when you have outside seating at restaurants, situations can flare up pretty quickly among people. Any little thing can set people off. If you're coughing, or if you're walking around with a camera, the sensitivity with people outdoors in closed settings has been heightened. So that's just how it is. I think the more we go out and the more people that are not wearing masks, I think we'll get back to ourselves, our true social norm, where nobody's going to be apprehensive or paranoid and all that stuff. But I'll definitely take out my camera when I go out and do I'll do a lot more videos. And I like to drive down to Venice. It's a small little cute little town. Or maybe I can get some friends together and go out to eat and make some videos. I thought about having a friend over here at the house and do a little talk show on some interesting subjects. Maybe about the COVID, maybe about transgenderism, maybe about relationships, whatever. Just a nice kind of like down-to-earth conversation. I'm not sure if transgender topics are down-to-earth, but some situations that you could be facing might be down-to-earth. Those things don't change. We're people too. But anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in today, guys. I'm doing good. I feel a lot of energy. I feel strong. You know that I was going through some conditions with my hypothyroidism. That's going really, really good. The only thing I'm not doing well at is sleeping. I've been tossing and turning a lot in my bed. I don't know why. I do have a lot on my plate, and there's some things I'm working out right now to make my way of life more easier for me. I can't discuss it too much, but when I have the courage to talk about it, I probably will. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys take care. Bye-bye.